Hey guys, what's up? It is a dreary morning here in Virginia. This morning, supposedly, we're supposed to be getting some winter weather today, a mix of snow and rain um, with wind. So, I'm going to show you guys. I finished spinning one bag of the fin sheep um, black fleece that I purchased off of Etsy. Um, And this is just one bag that I've been spending. I have some more that I can show you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna just sit this down, and if you hear something fall, it's just a bag of fiber. I'm gonna sit this down, and I'll show you guys the spindles. Right. Now I also have some spindle spinning I've been doing for one of my friends, Katie's. Fleece that I got from my friend Katie out in Ohio, Scioto, Ohio. Stay. And some of these have been unraveled a little bit because I have a little granddaughter who is fascinated with my spinning, and I'm hoping once she's a little older, I can teach her how to spin. Get her spinning. But also because she's fascinated by it, I don't get to spin as often as I would like to either. Because I'm afraid, especially using my spinning wheels, because I'm afraid she might try to stick her little fingers in there, and we don't want that. All right. And then I'll show you the spindles that has Katie's face on it. This is a drop spindle that I made. I forgot I started on that one. That's another drop spindle that I made. Okay. That looks like all of the drop spindles with that fiber on it. Yeah. Okay. So this is the fiber. This is another bag of that fiber that I washed and dried it, and I gently washed it because I did not want to damage the lock structure because I was spinning about a lock. I took and I separated out as many locks as I could first, and opened it up if it needed to be opened up with a not a flicker brush, it's a brush from my drum carter. It's somewhere around here. And and then the fiber that was left over after I pulled all the locks free, I spun that first just to go ahead and get it out of the way. And rustling is a part of life when you're dealing with fiber, because you can't just leave it out in the open, because you don't want anything that might want to eat it crawling into it. So, all right. So this was, I don't know if you guys can see this, but it says Henry Matisse Micron Count 23 of Fin Sheep in North Star Alpaca sold this fiber. And I bought this fiber in 2019. Maybe it was sheared in 2019. I might have bought it in 2019. I don't remember. But this is what this fiber looks like. It's a beautiful, dark, natural black fiber. And how I find the locks is I find the tips. And I have to do this with my glasses off because of the lighting in here. So I find the end of the tips like this, and I hold the rest of the fiber down, and I gently I pull it out like that, like a little snap at the end, just snatch it out, and then you have a lock structure. And see how it's nice and open down on this end, but on this end you got a little bit of the where it curls over. So this is the end that I would take. I can't find it right now. I don't know where it is. My other brush. I'll use this one. This is just a real little pet brush that I got at Walmart when we went to Tennessee because I forgot and I left my flicker brush home when I was working on the fiber that I was spinning. So I would just take this brush and hold it tightly and open up that end. It removes any veg matter or anything, but this fleece was coated, so it's very clean. And then I would go on the other end and I would do the same just in case there's something there. Get it on out the way so you get an even more of a better spin. And so you open up that lock on both ends, and so it'll spin very nicely. Even to me, it spins better than if I had put it on a drum carder, because it's, you know which way it's lined up, you know which way the tips are on this fiber. Okay, so that's how I separate the lock out. And it's a beautiful, beautiful fiber. I mean, I've been looking to see if they post. I don't know if they purchased it and decided not to process it, or if it's for my sheep that's on their farm. I need to find out because it's a gorgeous fiber. Gorgeous fiber. And I would love to get some more of it for spinning one day. Once I finish spinning this up. The rest of it I'll probably spin on my spinning wheel. And I'll just have to sit there one day and pull all the locks free and prepare it for spinning day. This is beautiful, soft, wonderful fiber. And as you can see, just one bag of this, I was able to spin on these mini drop spindles just here and there as time permitted. And eventually I will take and put this on a bobbin, apply it onto a bobbin, straight off of the spindles. I'll apply it onto a bobbin, and that'll be that. So yeah, so that's some of the drop spindling I've been doing. Now the other drop spindling I've been doing is from some Moret fleece from my friend Katie out in Scioto, Ohio. She is a independent shepherdess who is working on her own spinning flock, her own breeding programs, and as well as meat sheep. So these are the spindles that I've done with Katie's fleece, and I have 3 fleeces from hers that were raw. I've washed one of them and bagged it up to be spun eventually by the lock. The other fiber I got from her was from her white sheep and from more sheep that's already been processed at the mill. And this is some of the mill processed fiber. Um, so yeah, she's very, very beautiful, very lofty, um, spongy, soft uh, fleece. And it's soft. I said it's soft a couple of times, but it is soft. It's not the micron count of this fiber, which is a fine fiber, but it's still a nice soft. It's comparably soft without the micron count of this. That's the best way I can explain it. It's not coarse. It's just a thicker fiber, but it's still very crimpy and it's very soft. So I don't know. I don't have projects for this yet. For me, spinning is the project. I love spinning. I rarely, I can count on 2 fingers when I've actually used my hand spun and knit anything. So I need to find something that I can knit that's fast and easy, probably hats, with my hand spun, so that I can use it more. And right now, what I'm doing is I'm preparing a package to go to my friend Barbara up in Pennsylvania, with some of my hand spun to do a swap with her. So yeah. So that's what's been going on in my spinning world. I do have some stuff I've been spinning on my Spinolution Queen Bee, but it's over there in the corner, and I'm not getting ready to get it out. So it's basically some fiber that I showed you guys before. The last time I showed you while I was, spinning on my spinning wheel. So it's basically that same fiber that I'm still working on. Now another drop spindle spinning that I'm doing is because I'm not trying to buy any more fleeces unless I get them from Katie. Because I trust Katie's packaging and her preparation. When I buy a fleece from her, she doesn't send. She skirts quite heavily and make sure that you get the best of her sheep's product. Everybody doesn't do that, which Katie does, which is awesome. So this fleece and this is all I have left of that first sample that I've been spinning on this drop spindle, which is a Chinese New Year coin that I purchased at an auction and from the Spinning Guild. Here in Virginia. I can't think of the name of them right now. Arachne or something like that. But I purchased it at a auction they have where people are selling selling looms and things like that they have that they don't use anymore, or found items that from going through barns and stuff like that, they might find a spinning wheel or something like that, refurbish it, and then they sell it at this spinning auction, crafters auction. And I got a loom from there, and I also got this drop spindle, and it spins beautifully. So I've been spinning this. This is Shetland wool from Whisper Pines Farms, and it was a sample from Phoebe, something like that. An EU staple length 4 inches. It's a little over 4 inches. This what I've got. The color white. Her date of birth is 2018, 4/28/2018, and it was an ounce for $8. For a sample, I think that's okay. But also for a sample, I think it should have come from the coated fiber. so you can truly see without having to put in a lot of work with washing and cleaning and pulling out little dirt bits because they coat their sheep. Um, that's the only thing. I thought I would be getting some of the coated fiber, and it was not explained as such on their site. So keep that in mind if you get samples from them. Always check to see if the samples are from the coated portion of the sheep. This also had like a lot of little second cuts in it. And you could tell because they most of it came out when I opened up the ends, but some of it still has it. Like this piece, you could see it. These little nips that you see are like second cuts, and where the yeah, like you see these little nips. Let's see if you guys can see that. See these little nips? Those are like the little second cuts that was in the fleece. And yeah, so when you get it, when you first get the sample, if you get samples from them, shake it out real good first. Pull out any little bits and pieces of dirt and stuff. Since I thought this came from a coated portion of the sheep, I didn't think it would have any dirt in it. But once I washed it and it got wet, I could see dirt, little flecks of poo tags, it looked like. And yeah, so just open it up real well before you clean it. Just go ahead and flick open it. Not necessarily flick open the locks, but go ahead and just examine the locks and clean the locks. Pull out any little bits of dirt and stuff before you wash it. That way you only have to wash it once, because once the water touched it, it immediately started turning white. And I just used a little bit of Eucalypt in the water, and it immediately started turning white. And as you can see, it's a real pretty bright white color, almost like a Santa's beard if you think about it. This is a Shetland, and they are breeding for smaller Shetland, look to me. So it may have some of the old world characteristics where the tips break off, or where they begin to shed their old fleece and new fleece grows under it. So you might want to tug on the tips to see if they come free, and if they do, you want to go ahead and remove those tips, because if not, then it might end up doing like a lot like the second cut nips, where it might go ahead and separate and break off, and then it'll weaken your yarn that you're spinning. You don't want your yarn to be breaking and being weak when you go to ply. So yeah, so that's the other spin that I'm working on right here in this bowl. So that's, oh yeah, this is the other sample bag that I got right here, and this is from their sheep name. They know, I guess both of them were from her. Yeah, so both of them were from her, the raw fleece from Ophiba. So this is what I'll show you guys. So I just put it in the water. I just thought it was probably from the coated part of the sheep. So I just put it in the water, but it wasn't. So with this one, you see how tight the crimp is on this? And it's super soft. Bee likes to come up and touch it because she's petting the cloud. So this time I would go through and I would pick out any of these little black flecks off of this, and look for any poo tags. Like here's a little teeny, it's either dead skin or a poo tag, which it doesn't matter which it is, it needs to come off. So this time I will go through there and I will skirt that, pull all that little stuff out, and then shake it to get any little pieces of dirt and stuff to just drop on off of it before I wash it. Like that's the section that came out. And this is the cut side of the fleece, and this is the top side. See, like there's some more right there. And you just go through there. This one is cleaner than the previous one though. And you look for that stuff. And you can tell it's not a coated part simply because of how dirty it is. It has some grass and stuff in it. So this either came from the neck or but I don't think it came from the butt section because it's not really dirty. So I think it's probably from off the neck. So yeah. So you can see where it's all these little bits of dirt and stuff on it. So it wasn't from a coated fleece. Like Henry's a coated fleece. His fleece were so clean it was crazy how clean it was. So they probably was changing out his coat as he grew that fleece out. And so you can see all these little pieces of dirt, the focus in there. You see a bigger piece of dirt up there. So I got to go through and pull all that little stuff out this time before I wash this one. It's very enjoyable fleece. I would love to get a hold of some of their fleece from some of their coated fleece. I would love to get a hold of some of that. Maybe this year when they share, I'll be able to get some. It's beautiful, beautiful. And I mind you, those of you who might be new to spinning and stuff, coated fleece is typically more expensive than, especially from a spinner's flock, a sheep that have been developed specifically for high micron counts and very, very next to soft next to skin wool. So let's see this tip here. See if it'll break off. And so these sheep also, with this particular sheep, her tips, only a little bit of it is coming off. So these tips, yeah, I might go through and tip these because it looks like they're separating off some. See how those tips separate off? And that'll cause nips. These sheep have like the old world, some of the old world genetics where the tips from the previous year's growth, it'll come off like that. Okay, so you're gonna have to go through and tip these. You should probably do it before you wash it so you don't have like those little nips. So yeah, so let me put this back. And you can see just the little bit of manipulation that I did. You can see some of that dirt on this plastic. So that's why I say I'll put it in one of those bread bags and shake it and not like manipulate it a lot. Just shake it gently. Shake it so that dirt falls out in the bottom of the bag. As much of it as possible. And the rest will come out when I wash it. All right, guys. So I'm going to let you go. That's all I want to share with you today. Y'all take care and enjoy if you're on the East Coast, enjoy your